Hello students, in a previous video lecture, we have seen the concept of contour integration around a small semicircle with one example. Today we will see one more example of the same topic in which the function of cos or sine is involved in the given integrand. In such cases, we put cos x or sine x, we put e to the power iota z in place of cos x or sin x. Then later on, by equating the real and imaginary parts of our obtained result, we can evaluate our original integral. So let's see the example. Evaluate integral from 0 to infinite cos ax divided by x square plus 1 dx. So see the solution now. I suggest you to watch my previous video lecture on the same topic for better understanding. So let's consider integral from integral along C. Integral along C, fz dz is equal to integral along C e to the power iota az divided by z square plus 1 dz. Here C is a closed contour where C is a closed contour consisting of a semicircle CR which is centered at origin and with the radius R together with its diameter from minus r to plus r. Okay. It is real axis, it is imaginary axis. So our contour will be like this. I am sorry for my poor drawing. It is diameter from minus r to plus r and it is a semicircle CR. Okay. So we can write integral along C fz dz is equal to integral along CR fz dz plus integral from minus r to plus r fx dx. It is equation 1. Now again by residue theorem, we know that integral along C fz dz is equal to 2 pi iota times of sum of the residues at the poles which lie inside the given contour. Suppose it is equation 2. Now by equating this equation 1 and 2, we can conclude integral along CR fz dz plus integral from minus r to plus r fx dx is equal to 2 pi iota into sum of the residues. Suppose it is equation number 3. Okay. So to find out residue, we have to find out pole. Okay, so poles of the given integrand. And to find out poles of the given integrand, what should we do? We should equate this denominator to the 0 and find the roots of this. Okay, so for poles, we write z square plus 1 is equal to 0. That means z is equal to plus minus iota. Okay, so for plus iota, the coordinates will be 0, 1, and for minus iota, the coordinates will be 0, minus 1. So iota, the point iota will lie somewhere here, and minus iota will lie somewhere here. So we see out of these two poles, only this iota lies inside the circle. So we find out residue at z is equal to iota. We are getting simple pole here. So residue at z is equal to iota is equal to limit z tends to iota z minus iota into f of z. Now we put the value of function limit z tends to iota z minus iota into e to the power iota a z divided by z minus iota into z plus iota. Okay, I am writing z square plus 1 as z minus iota and z plus iota. Now these z minus iota and z minus iota will cancel out each other, and after applying this limit we will get e to the power minus a divided by twice of iota. Now we put this value in our equation number 3, in this equation. Then we will get integral along CR. I am putting the value of function here, that is e to the power iota az divided by z square plus 1 dz plus integral from minus r to plus r e to the power iota ax divided by x square plus 1 dx is equal to 2 pi iota into e to the power minus a divided by twice of iota. And after solving we will get pi into e to the power minus iota. It is equation number 4. Okay. Now we take the limit r tends to infinite. Taking r tends to infinite, that means this mod of z will tend to infinite. Okay, so in equation 4 we apply this limit here, then we'll get limit mod of z tends to infinite integral along CR e to the power iota az divided by z square plus 1 dz plus limit r tends to infinite integral from minus r to plus r e to the power iota ax divided by x square plus 1 dx is equal to pi into e to the power minus iota. Right? Now see, when we apply z tends to infinite in this function, then the value of this function will become 0. That means this term will vanish after applying the limit. And here, when we apply this limit, then the limit of integral will become from minus infinite to plus infinite. So we'll get integral from minus infinite to plus infinite e to the power iota ax divided by x square plus 1 dx is equal to pi e to the power minus a. Now this term e to the power iota ax can be written as the terms of sine and cos. So we'll get integral from minus infinite to plus infinite cos ax plus iota sine ax divided by x square plus 1 dx is equal to pi into e to the power minus a. Now equating real parts of both the sides. So equating real parts of left hand side and right hand side. Now we need to take care of one thing, that if we would have been given the function of sine here in the given integrand in place of cos, then in that case we equate imaginary parts of both the sides. Okay. So after equating real parts of LHS and RHS, we will get integral from minus infinite to plus infinite cos ax divided by x square plus 1 dx is equal to pi into e to the power minus a, because in right hand side there is no term of there is no any term with iota. Okay, no any imaginary term here. Right, and again you see that this cos and this x square, okay, due to this cos and this x square, this whole term, this whole function is actually even function. Okay, so this function is even function, so we can write twice of integral from 0 to infinite cos ax divided by x square plus 1 dx is equal to pi into e to the power minus iota. So integral from 0 to infinite cos ax divided by x square plus 1 dx is equal to pi into e to the power a divided by 2. Okay.